Jay here for
Right.
I say this every time, but I think that genuinely was the record for the quickest you've ever interrupted me. This is...
Are you all right, though?
I am always all right, Steve, when I'm on a podcast with 3/4 of the Stretford Paddock ownership. Yep. This is the inaugural episode of the Stretford Paddock podcast.
But not really.
Why not?
Well, there's fucking loads, that's why.
No, this is the first one of what is the Stretford Paddock podcast.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Basically, we was like, do you know what? Us four are never on a podcast.
Yeah.
And we probably should be. And guess what? We're still
We're
not.
still not. So, technically, you might be right. That it's
Tweet
not
McCullough.
quite.
Just
Widge.
So what's this podcast all about, Jay?
This podcast, basically, the premise is...
Well played.
All four of us will be on a podcast together.
I'm derailing this shit.
Where we discuss things that are happening in the wonderful world of Manchester United Football Club. Whether that's transfers, fixtures, whatever.
It's just your average roundtable podcast, but well better than average.
Yeah. And it has to be bloody good to have moved Howson's Brew.
But it's only the greatest podcast on this platform.
Exactly. And don't worry, for those of you
that?
who are tuning in for Howson's Brew, because despite the fact this is a different podcast, we will still be talking about the 1991
and Howson's Brew
Cup final.
And Howson's Brew will be here on Friday as well. Let's not forget that. It's not never happening again. Howson's Brew just moved to Fridays. But yeah, this is the Paddock podcast. What are we talking about today, Jay? Talk us through it.
Well, we're talking about the greatest European competition on the planet, other than the Champions League, the Europa.
Oh,
so we're in that.
Set up nicely then for a 1991 Cup Winners' Cup.
Does it even exist anymore, that?
No, it doesn't.
It was too
That's
good,
how good it was.
to
Hence
continue.
why, it's now in a glass case where we just look at it and go,
Let's put it this
You
way.
put that on the same as like Kurt Cobain and all these things that sort of left us too soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
The European Cup Winners' Cup is part of the 27 club.
It's on a shelf next to Tupac, and we just leave it and reminisce about how good it was in the 90s.
Yes. Very well.
See,
You all right?
Multi-layered that, wasn't it?
Jay's just
do you like how multi-layered that was?
But Jay's just laughed and smacked his face on the
I was
microphone.
laughing that
Don't
hard.
do that. HR,
what else are we going to be talking about?
I'll sort it out. We're talking about, obviously, United have been drawn against Real Sociedad in the Europa League. So
Flying them, aren't they? How much that's David Silva?
It's not down to him. It's
Oh,
down
okay.
to Adnan. We'll talk about Adnan Januzaj, because he plays for him, obviously. And we'll also talk about United, right? There's a real sort of disparity between, amazingly, what's going on social media when it comes to United by certain sections and the reality of what's going on with Manchester United.
Almost like that's always the case.
Yeah. If you weren't to look at the table or what's going on, and you just went on Twitter,
if you'd never watched a
we
football
were
match,
literally fighting relegation.
You think we were Arsenal?
You would.
If you only saw Manchester United through the lens of social media, you'd think we were Arsenal.
I think we lost like practically every game. Ollie was
Chris Wilder.
I've got any result.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's literally drawn once and lost everything else.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bad season, I would say. But that's how it feels. United are, we lost again. That's 10 now out of 11. Well, no, not really.
No, we're 2 points off the top if we're not game in hand. And also we're going to be talking about Upamecano, aren't we, as well?
Yes, because...
Hang on, why did you do the news in here today?
Because, my esteemed colleague, I did the news and then some news broke.
Right.
So I recorded an extra bit of the news.
It's called journalistic integrity, Steve. Read about it, mate.
It's called a developing story and adapting to it.
Like it.
Should we talk about the Europa League then?
Yeah, go on, mate.
Sausage Dad are actually probably about as bad a team as we could get because they don't have the sort of pedigree and the big name necessarily.
Can't lose to them.
Of Ajax.
Where people go, well, it's Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. But they're actually brilliant. And we lose to Spanish teams all of the time. Sevilla, twice. Fucking Bilbao. In recent years, every time we play a Spanish team, we lose to them. Barcelona, that means 10 years ago now. But like, it
wasn't.
It was literally like
2 years ago.
18 months ago.
I thought you meant the ones in I was just thinking of the Champions League finals. They're bad enough for
I'll
me.
talk you through what happened.
I had to question
Ashley Young
myself
decided to do a pissing Cruyff
Why
turn
did I say it?
in the new camp.
Why?
Where
Why?
Johan Cruyff kind of made his name a little bit. He was like, I'm going to pay homage to one of the greatest footballers that's ever walked the face of the earth.
Footboys.
Check this shit
Foosball.
out.
Why don't they call footboys and not footballers, by the way? It's a lot easier, isn't it? I suppose then
It's a bit sexist, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you come up with a different name if you weren't a boy. Simple, innit?
Oh, just call them footballers and then you eradicate that problem altogether.
Pretty simple, really.
Overthinking this, Joe.
So Real Sociedad then, are they pretty much the worst team we could have drawn? In terms of difficulty, and then like you said, you can't lose to them because they're not a big enough name where people say, oh yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to have to go and have a look. I mean, I'm not going to, but I would have to go and have a look at the entirety of the Europa League shitstorm that is this draw. I mean, let's be honest, it's well long. Like there's like
32.
an Annex E with it. So it's pretty minging. And Sociedad, like you said, a rough team. They're flying, they're confident. They'll see us as a bit of shark bait that they can go and get. And they'll they're going to give us a good old college try.
Because it's like the opposite for them as well, isn't it? Because for us, it's a team that's very dangerous that we could easily lose to, but you don't get really much credit if you win, and you get absolutely destroyed if you lose. But for them, we're a big team that you get a lot of credit if you beat Man United. They're not necessarily expected to, but they've actually got a good chance of beating us. It honestly, for me, it's about as bad as it could have been. If we'd have got Roma or Ajax, or we can't get the other English teams yet, but further down the line, Tottenham
Rangers.
or
Olympiacos, was that an option?
Not Chelsea.
Salzburg.
If you get one of those teams, the bigger teams, and it was a tough game, we went out to Ajax over 2 legs, you're still going to get stick. But Real Sociedad, you're not going to get...
They're deceptive, aren't they?
But they're top of the league, and
exactly.
like, so cares, shut up, you dick.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not like a historic, massive Spanish team.
But they are going to be hard to beat. And I'm not trying to make excuses here, but also, especially like...
I'm going to be honest, sounds a little bit like
If United play a slightly weakened or rotated side, it's going to be proper difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are we going to? Do you think we will?
I
I can't make my mind up, me.
I think we will.
Right. The noises coming out of United are, we want to go and win it. But this club is so North Korea about everything that you're never going to get a straight answer out of them. No. Here's what's not going to happen. There's never going to be a leak out of Old Trafford that you hear where the club goes, we couldn't give a fuck about this.
Yeah.
They're never going to say that because we've got far too many sponsors. We got more sponsors than we got fans allowed in the stadium.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mean this week, I mean next week. So, we've got so many sponsors that we have to look at least like we're trying to win trophies as plastic as they are.
And we want to be in that conversation, don't we, about this whole European Super Leagues, whatever's going on.
I think we're in it.
Yeah. But what show, though, we are about
I think if you've won it, you've got a badge, you're on the ride.
Really?
Yeah.
Benfica,
It's something like that, yeah.
But if we're sort of
PSV
saying...
like that. Oh, yes.
Exactly, yeah.
Aston Villa are like that. You what?
Yeah, exactly. Forest.
Forest, yeah, double winners.
Nottingham Forest are in it.
Back to back. City,
Yeah.
not so much.
We can't act as though we're not trying to win. Do you think we will go all out? Because Ollie's, I know it's different. When you come down from the Champions League, it feels though it's even more of a failure to get in the Europa League.
Yeah.
But look at the way Jose celebrated the last game of the season for Tottenham. They were in a huddle, jumping up and down because they clinched that last Europa League spot last season. They celebrated when they, qualified from the group stage. If you start in it and you're doing well, like last season, we were sort of going, well, we've got to try and win it. But this season, because we've dropped down into it, you sort of go, oh, it's worth less than
I
shine.
wouldn't mind seeing the stats on how many times a Champions League reject has gone on and won
Did
it.
Sevilla get relegated from the Champions League last season?
They usually start...
Because they usually
that's where
win
they
it, don't
usually
they?
come off the
They
blocks.
usually win it,
Yeah.
and you win the Europa, go in the Champions League, then drop down and win it, don't they? That's like
So
that.
good.
That's
And they won
their
it 4 out of the
MO.
last 6 years.
Something
mental.
like that.
If
That's
not,
that's what they
whether
do.
they've done it or not, I'm going to call that doing a Sevilla.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If we
alright.
Whether
There you
they've
go.
even done it themselves,
Yeah.
I'm sure they have. They must have done it at
is
least
going to be
once.
coined as doing a Sevilla.
So dropping down from the Champions League into the Europa League and then winning it, doing
and
a
then
Sevilla.
Repeat.
Yeah. And
Very
people are like,
nice.
never done it. Like, done that.
Let's face facts though. If we won it, we'd all be buzzing, but I don't think we will. Because I don't
Yeah,
think we'll
I
go. I personally don't think we'll go for it.
Because I really want Ollie to get a trophy, regardless of what it is. Carabao, FA
Yeah.
Cup.
Yeah,
100%.
because you got
Whatever,
fucking
son.
widgets like McCullough halfway down the M6 at the minute, who this morning was like, Jose's still our best manager that we've had post-Fergie because he's won a fucking shiny thing. Won a fucking League Cup and one of these big fucking plant pots. That's it.
Yeah, but we haven't had a lot of success post Fergie, so that's still.
Yeah.
You've all got
you're
Van
looking-
Gaal and his FA Cup to go against. That's it. So
you're
it's either
looking
that.
more
It's
at-
whether you weigh those two trophies. Sorry,
No,
those
sorry.
two trophies over the
He's
FA
not sorry
Cup.
either.
But also, if you
That's
look
all I'd
at
say.
the way Ollie's changed things in the way we play football, the amount of goals we score per game, all that sort of stuff, which is a bit more shitty to look at. It's easy to go trophy, trophy, trophy. Not that any of them were big trophies. I mean, the FA Cup, the biggest of the three.
Europa League's massive, mate. What are you
So,
on about?
yeah, it's like the fucking, what's it called? The hockey one. What's that one called? Where it's like
Stanley
8 feet
Cup.
tall. The Stanley Cup.
If
But
you introduce like this new Europa conference,
Yeah.
you'd go, anyway, the trophy's 14 feet high.
Yeah.
You're like, fucking
they
what?
don't lift the trophy. They climb the trophy
Yeah,
at
you
the
get-
end, and
you
you
get
sit
at
on
the
it
top of
like
it.
branches.
You know, you get on it like a married couple at the top on the wedding day.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely.
Hold hands with your manager.
But otherwise, that's how you work out what Van Gaal did and what Jose did. And obviously, as a United manager, you need to be winning trophies. There's no
Yes.
two ways about it. But then can you still sort of, is there any comparison to what Ole's done in terms of the style of recruitment and the age of the team and the style of play and the amount of times we score 3+ goals in a game, which is higher than it, 10% higher than it has been in under Van Gaal or under Mourinho? What do you look at? Is it just trophies?
No, it can't just be just trophies, because Martin Edwards, when I interviewed him, coincidentally his house is up for sale, if anyone's interested.
So he was fucking broke or what?
No, but it's a longer story.
Martin Edwards' house up for sale. We will have an auction live at the end of the podcast.
Right, I was looking at houses.
Right.
I might move from there.
What, at that volume?
I was looking at houses, and I looked at, there's a particular house I was looking at, and I was sending it to Ben, and then Ben was like, what the fuck are you looking at that house in this area for? You might as well move to like a nice area. And then he sent us a couple of things, and I went and had a look, and then just in that scroll, I was like, fucking I recognise that. That's Martin Edwards' house.
Were you outside picketing in the 90s?
That's, I don't think he lived there in the 90s. Oh. And I can't believe
How
he
do you
still
know it's
lives
his
there
house,
now.
sorry?
Because he's been there, hasn't he?
I interviewed him
Have you not heard
in his
this
living
story?
room.
I don't know. I knew he'd interviewed him. I didn't know it was in his house.
Yeah.
It was in his living
Yeah.
room. No, it was in his living room. Yeah. Well, strange. Because I didn't expect that.
For those who don't know, who's Martin Edwards?
He's currently the president of Manchester United, which is an
president.
honorary
But
position.
more well known for,
Being the chairman of Manchester United that sold to the Glazers.
which was kind of like more similar to the Woodward role of the time. Would you say?
No, he owned the club and was the chairman of the club.
Right.
He
More
didn't
like
sell,
me with
he didn't
Stretford
sell
Paddock,
to the
actually.
Glazers, though, did he?
He
Not-
floated us on the stock exchange
Yeah.
in '91, and then
There's
there
a
was
chain of
large,
events
There was
that-
large
Involved
shareholders.
and a few other
Yeah,
things.
there was large
I'm not-
shareholders which fluctuated, and horses and things, and ultimately when things went awry, the
stopping
Glazers
yourself
owned
from
like
saying something there.
30% of the club,
Right.
and then they owned all of it. But yeah, I think he made a couple of $100 million off when we floated. So the house that he's in ain't a couple of £100 million fella's house. So it's not a bad house, guy. It's in Old Way Edges. It's a nice gaff like.
So anyway, you're looking at his house. It's for sale, by the way. What were we saying before that?
Fuck knows.
I'm glad we got there in the end anyway.
What was we talking
I was
about
saying,
beforehand?
is our trophies the only metric of
there we go.
success? Especially when, let's be
Martin
honest,
Edwards
they're
said-
relatively minor trophies.
Martin Edwards said, because when we, those first 4 or 5 years of Fergie, we didn't win shit. Not only did we not win shit, we'd gone from being in the FA Cup finals, winning the FA Cup under Big Ron, coming 3rd and 4th, pretty consecutively, going quite close, was it 86? 85, 86 to winning the league.
Come on, Jay, you were
won the
20. Tell us,
first-
tell
We
us
won our
what it was.
first 10 games, but then we had a massive drop when we finished 4th.
It was injuries, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was injuries to Robbo, injuries to McGrath,
Brian Robson
injuries
gets
to-
injured at the end of that.
So we looked like people who could go on and win the title, but we was missing that, just that little bit of consistency to be able to call ourselves champions. Then Fergie came in. He came in after Big Ron went and handed his notice in. I didn't know this.
I didn't
Was
know
this
this.
public notice?
No, was it full?
So, see,
How
I
did his
would've-
notice him? Where does he work at Spa?
well, he handed his notice in to Martin Edwards in the summer of '86.
Oh, I've heard this, yeah. Sorry, I've heard this story, yeah.
I have heard it, yeah. I am a big fan of Man
No,
United,
because he
actually.
wanted...
Now you mention it.
I'd say who was he wanted? The defender, Teddy Butcher. He wanted him, and United wouldn't sanction it. And he was like...
Oh.
And then he spat his dummy out and was like, I need him as a centre-back.
Well, that's not what Edwards told me.
that's
But I
what
mean, Edwards
I've read.
obviously is half of that story, and I'm sure he don't want to paint himself in a bad light. So everything he said to us, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. But there was a few things he did mention, especially in terms of like how often he upgraded Old Trafford, which was, if you look at it from like 1988 to like 2000, Jesus, it was a permanent like building site.
Have you not
Anyway-
seen... Go on, let you finish.
Anyway, so he goes, Big Ron handed his notice in. He said, I've took this team as far as I can take it. I can't make us champions. And Martin Edwards refused his resignation. Now, obviously, it went tits up. Fergie ended up coming in when we was, 16th, 17th in the league?
November, wasn't it? Yeah.
The same season, because once a man's decided he's not got his heart in the job, I guess he's not got his heart in the job. Fergie comes in, steadies a ship. They come 11th first season.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds about
Then he
right.
takes us to second. Think about that now. Oh my God, this dour Scotch bastard's got it. Then we come 11th. He's gone. That doesn't happen in this day and
No.
age. You don't go second to 11th and survive.
No.
Then he came 13th.
But that's the season when the FA Cup, and the 13th season.
Then it was like 6th.
Yeah, and now you're winning trophies, so you sort of get yourself out of jail.
But
Unless you
Martin
lose Van
Edwards
Gaal.
said at the time,
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, Martin Edwards said at the time, because I asked him, and I was very trying to look at the cues, and I'm sure he's told this story a million times to people, about how he didn't sack Fergie, because let's be honest, not sacking Fergie was probably one of the greatest decisions in this football club.
Yeah.
So he's probably told himself that,
I would
even if
say
it's a
the
lie.
greatest decision.
Yeah, even if it's a lie, he's told himself that much that it's true.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever he says, I was trying to look to say, is he chatting shit to me here? But he said, completely honestly, we could see how much work was going in the background. He'd overhauled the scouting department. There was things going into place. We had a plan, and we knew that he was the right man. And you go, well, I can't fucking prove you wrong. And clearly it worked out.
And there was, even if he's not quite telling the truth about the exact details of that, there was clearly something that made them keep him. So it had to have been something. So, and it wasn't the results on the pitch. So it must have been something like that. Again, I know there may be other things going into it, but they must have seen something in them because they did stick with him.
It's definitely the party line, because Bobby Charlton says the same thing. Eric Harrison says the same thing. I think he tripled the number of scouts. A lot of players say it in terms of the training, the facilities, the drinking culture, the players that he moved on. I think we've got a super chat.
We've got
there.
a super chat from United from a
Can you read that out,
podcast.
Joe?
Apologies for publishing a Merry Christmas Paddock video without consulting you guys first. Am I in trouble? Nothing but praise for you guys. Love you all. No, you're not in trouble.
Never in trouble for
Where's
wishing us happy Christmas.
Yeah, I'd like
Merry
to see that
Christmas.
video because I've not seen it personally. But assuming that's not some sort of
You're being
piss
like
take and slander, you're certainly not in trouble with us.
going back to what you were saying
Don't know what's
about,
on the video.
about the the Europa, and I think last time was different because it was emotional, wasn't it?
Jay, I was on a course then.
Like a management course.
No, different.
Oh.
I was getting it to the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup.
Sorry.
there. I was this close.
You don't need a course, to be fair. We just
We
do
done
that.
Fergie 86.
You've got your
we've done,
1991 podcast on
right,
Friday.
but there's got to be a transitional period, Joe. It's Monday. It's 4 o'clock.
Right.
Allow it.
Okay. We've already took. That's twice we mentioned it now. I think that's enough.
Let me ask you this then. No, right? The 1991 Cup Winners' Cup final win. The FA Cup win isn't enough to make you think Fergie's the answer to all our problems.
No, as we've
because
seen.
Ron Atkinson won it in 85 and was sacked. What?
Did he also win it
86?
83?
Yeah. But you win that. Then you win the Cup Winners' Cup. And then people say, hang on a minute, this guy.
So again, actually,
This
I know you talk about it all
guy.
the time, and again,
No, but that's what I'm getting
for
to.
those who
is-
don't know, what even is the motherfucking cup, European Cup Winners' Cup? What is it? Because
It's
in
what
a lot of
it-
people's
it's what
heads, it sounds like
says on the tin.
Well, no, because what it says on the tin is you've won the European Cup and now it's the Winners' Cup.
No.
That's
Right.
what it could sound like
Yeah,
to someone.
yeah,
but
it's-
what is it actually?
If you win the FA Cup or the equivalent in your country,
Right.
so not the League Cup, the
Copa del Rey.
Yeah.
Scudetto.
Yes.
Scudetto.
Is it the
The-
Scudetto?
no,
or
no,
is
the
that
Scudetto. That's the title.
That's the
yeah.
title. So the main cup
Yes.
in your country, you went into the Cup Winners' Cup,
Right.
Because there was no Champions League. So the only
Yeah,
people in
Champions
the
League
European
didn't
Cup,
have 500 pissing teams
you
in
had,
it like it has
you
now.
had the league winners in the Champions League
was like
and the
12
holders
people.
of the European Cup. That was it.
That's how you end
Yeah,
up
yeah,
facing
it
like
was.
Genk and
Yeah.
randomers.
You know what I mean? So
Who were playing?
And the reason that me and him go on about it all the time is not only did we obviously win it, it was first year back
Most
in
iconic
Europe,
kit.
first year back in Europe for English clubs as well after the ban. But
Second.
we had a tough run as well. Montpellier were a mint team. We beat them, and obviously
Hibernian.
Hibernian.
Not even the Scottish ones.
Wrexham.
From Malta.
Wrexham, mate. Hey, do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I understand what you're
Wrexham.
saying to me, yeah.
My point is, Fergie obviously got a lot of props for winning that. Would Ollie get the same amount of props for winning
Absolutely
the
not.
Europa League?
Because there's
Would
a
people
fan
go,
base
well, maybe not
on
actually.
there's a section of our fan base, and this is a very modern thing, where they are more fans of certain players. This is Marshall FC, Pogba FC, fucking Jose Mourinho FC. Still, I still see a lot of muppets on Twitter with shit opinions that have got a Jose Mourinho icon as their thing. I think people forgetting that this club becomes before any player, apart from Sir Bobby, and any fucking man. Club first.
Yeah, and that includes against the owners and the ownership, I would say, as well. Because the club has values that predate the... It's not like the club isn't the people at the top of the club currently. The club is Manchester United as an entity and as a sort of a timeline of
That's
values
right.
and
Football
of,
is
of,
nothing without
of,
fans.
of ethics.
That's
Yeah.
what it means. Football is nothing without fans. No one hands down their love of fucking Cadbury's chocolate to their kids and would fight people who have Nestle, right? That happens in football teams. They're tied to geographic locations, and they're also you're allowed to fall in love with these things when you don't even fucking come from this area. Imagine that. Imagine I like Mike's accounting from Bradford. And my dad liked Mike's
and every single week you'd spend £100 on a ticket to go and sit in on Mike's accountant when he's doing the tax returns. Go on, Mike. Go on.
HMRC. Okay.
Yeah, imagine. But football is relatively unique in that case, isn't it? But when you look online and you say about these people with different icons in Marshall FC and Pogba FC and all that sort of thing.
I think it's a very modernism. I don't like it.
Yeah, and we talked at the start about if you just got your news from Manchester United from Twitter and you never saw the league table, you would think we were 17th, 16th, 15th, 11th.
Of the Championship.
Wherever.
Yeah.
You would not think
Fair.
that we are 5 points off the top with a game in hand, which is, and again, I've said it multiple times in the last couple of weeks, ever since I did my one bit of research.
Fucking dining out on
we
that,
have
innit?
not. We haven't
years.
had a better start to a league season in 7 years, in terms of the distance we are from top.
Yeah.
So, and we all know this was the first time we played City, and we were ahead of them since 2015. We've stayed ahead of them. You look at Chelsea, who lost. You look at Liverpool, who drew.
People are looking
Tottenham
at the wrong.
drew.
They're looking at the wrong bit of the frame. That's what's happening. These people are framing this entirely incorrect, and this is what happens. It goes back to what we were saying a couple of weeks ago, talking about tribes. People have to get into tribes, and it's it's Mac versus PC, and it's Coke versus
Xbox
Pepsi,
versus PlayStation.
Yeah, and you can never have reasonable judgment with them, and things become echo chambers, and people drill down in opinions. And I've said it to you in the past: I don't hate Ashley Young, but what would happen is there would be a statement I'd make about Ashley Young. Go, I thought it was shit today, and then I would have moved on, and then you'd have 11 people message you, go, he was man of the match, and you're like, well, he objectively wasn't man of the match, and then I have to drill down in my opinion and go, look, lads, he was shit. Here's why he was shit. When actually he was just a bit shit.
Me and you had that exact argument on Twitter when I said he was man of the match, and you went, no, he fucking wasn't. I went, no, he was. Like, Gary Neville gave him man of the match. That's my point. And you were like, he was still shit.
Yeah.
And then you
That's
sent
the
your minions
problem
on me, and then I didn't end up going out for a meal with Mrs. arguing with people on Twitter.
But that's the
we
problem
became
with these sorts of opinions is people don't usually like nuanced discussion, which is multifaceted and multi-reasoned, and I like asking questions, and a lot of people don't get those questions where I go, was it because of this? That's not me saying it was because of this. I'm asking questions, and I'm trying to get people to look at
even
different
changing your
sides of
mind is okay. You can think, I don't think he's up to this, and then get proven wrong. Do you know what I mean? I've been like, I thought Fred, for example, I was like, this guy is a waste of fucking space.
I agree.
And I stood there and Travis said, we've got to stop kidding ourselves here. We may as well just set fire to 50 million quid. And I was proven wrong at the Etihad, and I said that. And I think I did a video afterwards, and I was like, I owe him an apology because that was a fantastic performance. I didn't think he had it in him. He has, and I just
He's
want
never
to see
left
more
a
of
pitch
it.
in a dry shirt, and that's
Do you know
what I
what I
like
mean?
about
Yeah,
him.
and I'll hold my hands up. But it's okay to change your mind or say, you know what, I got that one wrong, or a player has improved. Well, now it's like, no, I am, Marshall FC.
These are my opinions.
Yeah, Pogba FC, and
Get
Paul
them tattooed
Pogba,
on me. They're never
and
going to
that's it.
change.
And I don't like Ollie. And I've even seen, and I'm not making this up. This is actually a true tweet I saw. Even if Ollie wins the league, I still won't like him.
Yeah, I've seen people saying, well, on a similar vein as I'm sure we've all seen, I hope we win. I hope we lose this game so Ollie gets sacked sooner.
Yeah,
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot. Not
What
like
is
one
that?
person, not
No,
like,
a
I've
lot.
seen the tweet. That's
I see it a lot.
relatively common.
Even the head of the derby, I saw that.
I mean,
I hope we lose to City. You're mental.
Yeah.
There's
Go on,
not
sorry, go on.
a single instance that you'd ever want us to lose. And there were some managers that it soured with towards the end, and Jose was the major one, to be honest.
but you knew that was coming when we hired him, though. That's always part of the caveat. When you hire Jose Mourinho,
I remember standing outside Old Trafford with him saying it's
under
gonna
the
happen
proviso
eventually.
that in 3
We did that
years
before he came.
he will set fire to the
He thought he was
curtains and
signing
walk
Gareth
out.
Bale as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember, this might be closest to a direct quote as possible. I was like, Jose's going to bring the fear factor back, especially when he brings Gareth Bale with him. And it kind of was right. It's just he's bringing him here with Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly.
One of your more accurate predictions, to be fair to you.
United Forever podcast with another super chat. Said, Joe, it's a podcast highlighting why you guys are so great and also some of our favourite banter paddock moments from this year. It's on our YouTube channel. I'll check that out. Thank you very
I'll
much.
check it out.
That sounds almost as good as Scotty and Motty, which is another channel on YouTube. You want to check that out as well. Me and David
Check
Scott
out their
having
Election Day
absolute
special.
bants. Oh yeah, check out Election Day special where it features Joe, and also check out Howson's appearance on it, which did very good numbers for us for our little channel.
Our little
Talk
channel.
about why 1996 was the best year ever.
Yes,
If you want to hear more from that, check out.
Scotty and Motty.
Yeah, I'd give you a teaser now, but there's no point. It's all on there.
Yeah.
And the Manchester Bomb features weirdly more than you think.
Yes, it
For a
does.
96 edition, especially.
Yes.
So back to what we were talking about before then. We're
Europa,
talking about...
Sociedad.
Yeah, and we're talking about the season
Cup.
United have had so far.
We didn't explain why it's called a Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, did Jay?
Oh, we didn't explain how it works, though.
Go on then.
Well, it used to be the Champions Cup, which became the Champions League, and they allowed every fucker in it.
What was the European Cup then?
It was the European Champions Cup was its full title.
Was it? Blimey.
Yeah, that's why it was the European Cup Winners'
Do
Cup.
you know the Great White Shark? It's actually just called the White Shark, but people call it great because it's massive.
Really?
Yeah, sorry, carry on. Because it's like tiger shark, lemon shark, basking shark, white shark.
Right. So it's not called Great White. That's just like a little...
That's like a sort of a... It's established as pretty much... People call it that and it's known as that.
I got one for you.
Go on.
Do you want to kill a whale?
Yeah.
It's actually called a whale killer.
Yeah, it's actually not a whale.
No.
It's a type of dolphin, isn't it?
Do you like when they do Latin... I'm sure you know this. When they do Latin names,
Obviously.
they're backwards.
Right. Okay.
And someone wrote down whale killer and no one... Or flipped it around like they're not supposed to do.
So it's killer whale.
Yeah, but it's actually a whale killer.
The most vicious beast in the sea.
And smart.
Known to hunt great white sharks, killer
Smart
whales.
as a motherfucker.
Well, all sharks matter.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on then. What we're saying. So the Cup Winners' Cup, there used to be the European Champions Cup,
Yep.
which is the European Cup, aka the Champions League.
Yep.
Either variation, City have never won it.
Yep. And they've got more, than
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't say that.
What, you don't like fucking facts, Joe? I'll say it.
Some of them I don't know.
I'll say it.
Don't say it. Move on. We know what you meant. Go on. Go on.
I'll fucking...
No, you will not. I know what you meant. Go on. Go on. Explain it. Not that bit. The other
Explain
one.
the
The
Cups
Champions
thing.
Cup. The Cup Winners'
You're
Cup.
trying to get us fucking
Come on.
finished here.
Yes.
Then the Cup Winners' Cup. So
Yeah.
you would get unbelievable teams in there because
Ah,
only one team's
lot
going
of-
to the Champions League or the European Cup, which means that, let's say Dortmund win the league, means Bayern Munich going in the Cup Winners' Cup or the UEFA Cup.
Wait, so you couldn't be in both?
No.
No, sir.
So it's like the Europa.
If
It's like the
you-
Charity Shield. If you win both, it's whoever came second in
Yeah.
the league. But in this case, it would be whoever
Yes.
won the.
So if you did the double,
No.
So what if you did the double?
yeah, then you'd go into the European Cup.
Yeah, and who would go into the Cup Winners' Cup?
Who
Whoever
lost in the final.
lost in the final,
Finalists.
not second in the league.
No.
Okay.
No.
Great.
Which is why Wrexham ended up in there.
Who do they lose to?
An English team
In what?
in the Welsh Cup.
Pathetic.
The thing is, well, back
Hereford,
in those
I think it
days,
was, actually.
it's quite rare for people to do the double.
Yeah.
You only had 11
United.
players usually, didn't they?
Yeah.
United made a thing like did with 94, 96, 99. I know it's part of the trouble, but double became like a thing, didn't it? You just,
Yeah.
we've done double again. Oh, yeah, such as
But yeah, so it was a lot
rare.
bigger of a deal. I can't explain it's talking about it in 2020, just under 29 and a half years ago. It was a massive deal. It was a massive, I remember, what was I, 7, something like that at the time, and I remember feeling the gravity of it. European football, they always felt like, because of Munich, because of 68, they always felt like there was some sort of connection with United and European football. And when we were back in it, Old Trafford felt like it. Like, we've been spoilt by just having Champions League year after year after year after year after year. But trust me, 1991, it was fucking special. Because we used to play on Saturdays. What's this Wednesday night shit all about?
Yeah, it wasn't
Who
like
were they?
Friday night,
Montpellier.
Monday night, Sunday.
Yeah.
Tuesday,
It was 3 o'clock.
Wednesday,
See you next
Thursday.
Saturday at 3
Yeah.
o'clock. And then you had Montpellier, Legia Warsaw,
Yeah.
shit that you can't pronounce.
Wrexham.
Wrexham boy. Right? You had all of these fuckers turning up. And it was
Closer
sensational.
to Manchester than like half of the teams in London.
And then, And then, obviously, the Champions League starts. I remember them first games. Honved.
Yes, that was the quality. Was that like the qualifying round or whatever? It was first?
think it was a knockout.
Sorry, I can't believe of all the podcasts, this has literally just been all about the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup.
Right, sorry.
This is the one thing I did not want
Called
to happen.
educating
This is
Joe.
what I
Literally
want. No,
the
It's called educate. I'm talking about why it's so important.
I know, but
Right.
it's all you ever talk about, you two.
But you've not heard it.
We said,
That's an interesting
right,
point,
we asked the
actually.
question. Going
You,
back
and
to
you
it.
didn't know.
Right.
So I'm
Didn't
telling
know.
you.
I know, you're right. You're
We
right.
won it. 2017. We won the Europa League because Jose Mourinho gave up on the league in January, and he did. Right?
Yes.
We played the reserves against like Swansea and teams like that. We drew at home, and it was just like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Europa League."
He went all in.
Yeah, Ollie's not going to do that. And he
Well, what
can't
is he
afford
going to do
that.
then? Because
So
I don't think what
that's
we
the question.
something
Fail
else
at
I don't
both.
think we can afford to do. Exactly.
I
I don't think
can't-
we
I
can
think he
afford
can.
to sack off.
I think that's what he's gonna do.
We're not going to be able to do both.
I think he has to sack off the Europa League in a way that makes the statement, "I am sacking it off."
Well, we haven't got the
Not
next
a player.
round of. We don't find out who's through to the next round of the Europa League until February. So we've got 6 weeks to go. Have we got a chance of winning the league? Have we got,
or at least securing ourselves in the top 4?
Yeah, and are we certain?
Because that's
well,
going
not
to keep
certain,
his job,
but
innit?
are we 6-7 points clear of 5th? So here's the questions we need to answer in the next 6 weeks, and then we can decide. Is Ethan Laird getting a game against Sociedad?
Yeah. Because he's assist this weekend.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like we've got 6 weeks or whatever it is to work out if we've got a chance of doing something big in the Premier League. And if we haven't, maybe we do go for the Europa. Maybe we do go for the FA Cup and the Carling Cup.
We should at least.
Why are you bringing logic into this? Like, that's going to be a thing.
No, but he's right. But at least this season, we should have a chance of getting into top 4. So you shouldn't have to. I mean, part of the reason the Europa with Jose was to get into the Champions League.
Quadruple's still on, lads.
Isn't it a bit remarkable and a bit strange that we finished 3rd last season? I know Chelsea have vastly improved. I remember. But I know it was on goal difference and all that sort of shit. But the team that's starting games now is much better than the one that was starting the first half and the start of last season. The team that finished 3rd is better than it was, and yet it still seems as though we'll just about be in the mix for 4th.
Because we ran that team ragged and ran it into the ground. And now we're also looking at Tony Marshall's not found his form. If he'd have been in form, if he'd have got 10 goals this season, where would we be?
Well, I mean, 6.
Yeah.
We might well be first.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're thinking, if he'd have pulled his socks up already, if Mason had pulled his socks up already, we'd have been already there. You've got an injured Marcus Rashford who is pulling my hair out every single time I see him walk onto the pitch because you're like, Jesus, give the lad a night off. But you can't give him a night off because there's nobody else.
We talk about goals. Bruno's on 11, Rashford's on 10. The next, I think, is Greenwood with 3. So it's like they're the only, or whoever, they're the only 2 people scoring. So if he's even just fit enough to play, if you can get on the pitch, you've got to play, which is a shit position to be in, and that would be alleviated if Greenwood hadn't had the choppy start he's had, if Marshall hadn't, if Pogba was getting a few more assists, and we could have spread the goals out.
We'd have actually brought Cavani in June when he was available.
If Cavani had been
rather
fit,
than dicking around till October like we did. That's just shit management.
Yeah. Two-shot Tina says, remember the 1991 Cup win? It was just on the back of a 5-year ban for English teams too. Made it bigger, an achievement, in my opinion.
That's what Steve was alluding to, the special relationship with Europe and pioneers as well. We were the first English team to win the European Cup.
When you read the history
back after
of
United
going
the first
into
team
Europe,
to win something.
Chelsea won the championship in 1955?
Yep, didn't go in it, did they?
No, they was invited into this newfangled competition.
People didn't like the idea of it, did they? At first?
No, the FA hated it.
Yeah.
Busby went up against them.
If you wanted the truth be told, the reason Munich fucking happened, the reason we lost the fucking greatest team that we never got to sort of come to fruition, is because of the fucking FA. Because they demanded we're back 48 hours, 24 hours, back in the country, at least 48 hours or 24 hours, one of the two, before we played Sheffield Wednesday, I think it was, at the weekend. And if not, we'd be dot points. So rather than the pilot going, can't get this fucking plane up, lads, they go, you have to. But if they'd have been in that space where they hadn't have had that, you're going to get fined, you're going to get docked, and we'd have just got back a bit later on the Friday night.
Yeah. So sad, isn't it? It's still a bit sad now.
Yeah, really sad.
We've got Sociedad.
Yeah.
They have this young lad.
David Silva.
Well, there's him, but there's a better one.
Let's not make this all about Januzaj. He wasn't good enough at United.
That's what I want to speak about. I'm not making it all about it, but he used to play for United.
Him, Jay. I've noticed you doing that as
well. Let's at least have
You've mentioned him
2 minutes
He's on a video thumbnail. That means it's all about him.
Yeah, that's how it works on this.
Thank you.
He's doing all right there, though, isn't he?
I don't fucking know.
He's doing all right. Yeah, I don't think he's their star man. I don't think he's their best player.
Nicely done, nicely done.
But he's a good player.
One of my
but yeah, like you said, Steve, he wasn't good enough at United. And what we will see, if he scores against United, or if we, not even if he scores, if we get knocked out by them, or if we lose the first leg, it will be, why did Ole sell Januzaj? First of all, he didn't. But it'll be, United shouldn't have sold Januzaj. He was our best player under Moyes, this, that, and the other.
It was fucking Louis. I do know a bit of inside track on this. When he was playing under Moyes would put his arm around him and go, you do what you feel like doing today, son. Express yourself. All of those sort of fucking cliches.
Yeah.
Express yourself.
Go on, son.
Be brave. Take people on. And I remember that game at Sunderland.
Play with no fear.
I didn't get in till 9 a.m. the next day. That's how much I enjoyed his performance at Sunderland. It was fucking class.
What was the score, 3-2?
I don't know. I remember Januzaj played in the 10 and I thought he was the reincarnation of Johan Cruyff.
Because he had this
uncanny ability. 2 goals,
He had an amazing ability to go past players,
but
without having any pace. Like he wasn't that quick,
No,
but he just like drift and
lean.
glide and lean, and go past people. You're like, well, he's going to be doing this for the next 15 years because he's not quick now, or he's quick, but he's not relying on his pace to get past players. He's just got a weird body movement thing, and they just stop doing it.
So that's what David Moyes would do. And then Louis van Gaal got here. Now, Louis van Gaal would literally stop training and bollock someone like a teacher talking to a 7-year-old if they were 3 inches to the left on his fucking... You're all right. You nut that then.
That's twice Jay's headbutted the microphone.
So, like, Louis van Gaal had this
Passed
super rigid plan where people needed to be in all the different sorts of half spaces. And this is almost a direct quote. He's thick as fuck.
Really?
Like, he was like... Right, everybody, here's your tactical information. Like, obviously, now you're a second-year first-team pro. There's now tactical information and
Here's
jobs
your
and
weekly
roles
book to read.
that you need to do. And here's your team instructions, blah, blah, blah. Januzaj, fucking solid. Not getting it. So Louis van Gaal's like, fucking get rid of him.
Really? So I think it was it. They met an interview Schneiderlin or someone the other week, and he was saying that the ones that benefited most under Van Gaal were Rashford and Martial, because Martial didn't understand what Van Gaal was on about, so didn't take any notice, and Rashford didn't care, so he didn't do it. So then two just went out and just played how they wanted, just completely ignored it. And like Rashford was like 18, just got in the side, scoring loads of goals. Like, yeah,
Wayne Rooney spoke a couple of months ago about how he
was his best coach, wasn't it?
Yeah, or I don't think it was quite as like Fergie shit as that, but it was something like that.
They've got a bit
terms
of
yeah, in terms of like what I learned and who did the most sort of in-depth statistical coaching. He said Van Gaal was incredible at that, and not to have a go at Wayne Rooney, but for the longest time he wasn't considered the brightest kid in the playground, was it? He was that was always the stereotype about Wayne Rooney. I would say somewhat falsely, but some maybe not.
Doesn't help when you're offering yourself out on Twitter.
No, exactly. But like, what I mean is,
but I know what you mean.
I think maybe
Rooney's
we
original
could have done a bit more with Januzaj, is what I'm
amazing,
saying. Like, probably he wrote him off a little bit quickly because if they'd have handled it in a slightly different way.
Well, maybe he should have gone out on loan earlier.
He wrote a few off though, didn't he, man? Like,
all managers tend to, don't they?
Like one of them,
But you look, they've all done that. Van Gaal did that. Jose obviously does that everywhere. And
Jose
actually,
walked in and went, Memphis, do you like Louis van Gaal? He was like, I do. And he's like, get fucked now.
But do you know Ole?
4 minutes he played Memphis for. Goes to Lyon. He's scored about 100 goals since.
Yeah,
it's like Moyes with Zaha, innit? It just didn't got him in
and there's no truth to that. And
no, I know there
stuff
isn't.
as well,
Nonsense.
which is how that is just that's a thing.
Well, he played
Ever said it on Sky Sports about 3 weeks ago.
Because he'd heard it on.
Yeah, I know, but you say, how's that a thing? Because everyone's saying it.
It was horrible. That I felt sorry for Wilfried Zaha, but no, you're right. He didn't.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Van Gaal and all, to be honest.
Why?
Oh, Moyes, sorry, not Van Gaal. I think everyone and her. I think we should feel sorry for everyone in that rumour.
Didn't Zaha go, I've never even met her?
Yeah, he actually did it. And then he got in trouble because he tweeted something like, I'm sick of these rumours, I've never even met a girl. And then the club went mad at him saying, you don't address it, you don't publicise it. That makes it worse. And he's like stuck on his own in Bramall, going under, can't get a game. He's like, what is going on? Fergie's last signing, he's not getting a look in. Even despite the fact United are rubbish.
To be fair, he turned up at a club where Manchester United, where Ryan Giggs is one of the top 2-3 legends,
I know you're going with it.
wearing an Imogen Thomas t-shirt.
That was
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Yes, he fucking did. For his medical.
No, I don't think he meant.
Do you know where the entire fucking British press are going to be standing waiting to take a picture of you? He was like, that Imogen Thomas t-shirt looks fly as fuck.
Shit.
I know. I know. It's bad, wasn't it? But yeah, so Januzaj, you're not too worried about him.
I'd love to have known the banter that went down, because I've seen Scholes' banter up close. It's level 10 black belt.
You remember like Rooney? We're going about Rooney Twitter when he was tweeting about sister acts and all that.
Original Rooney Twitter's off its tits.
Original Rooney, like
it
he's
was.
Original
It
Rooney.
was.
Well, it
That
has
was the
evolved.
$8 million man.
He doesn't have the
ruthless.
password to his Twitter anymore. Are you fucking mad?
Yeah.
He has
It
to
was-
text someone and they go, no.
No. Yeah, we'll put it out, Wayne. Thanks.
Honestly, it was sick.
Like, he offered to knock himself out. He tweeted Rio without tweeting him.
Do you want to pick
Just
it? Do you want to pick it up in the morning like it was a text? Tweeted jokes when all that was going on with Giggsy about Sister Act 2. It's like, what are you doing? Take his phone off him. Take his Twitter off him. Stop this.
Wild.
Yes.
So I can imagine some of the dressing room banter with Giggs about the various different things, and
Misdemeanors.
Imogen Thomas would have been fucking box office.
But you don't come
Miss
in as a
Great
new
Britain, I
signing.
think it was actually, not misdemeanors.
Nice
Shall we move
done.
on to Upper Meccano then?
Look at him trying to get me out of the dangerous waters of
Yeah,
potentially
to be
libelous
fair,
talk.
I get where it's coming from.
Super Injunction
Shit.
podcast.
I think we shall.
Shad.
I've invented a new word. Deal with it. I think we shall. Yes, Upper Meccano.
Centre back, plays for Leipzig, of course.
Yeah.
French fella.
Likes to be put on his behind by Marcus Rashford at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But he is a very good player. Looked like he was coming to Old
We've been
Trafford.
linked with him all
Yeah,
summer.
there's a buyout
and last
clause,
winter
I
as
think,
well.
next summer, and it was looked like United were going to meet it, and he was open to the idea of coming. It looked like it was sort of, if Steve was doing his transfer review, I'd probably give it a 6 or 7 out of 10, I'm guessing.
Never got that high.
Oh,
And then
right,
as soon
okay.
as Bayern Munich got on the scene, it was
fuck you.
like,
Sauce.
absolutely, this ain't happening.
Yeah, well, but now this morning, Ornstein, who is reliable, I think he's been on your channel a few times, said that...
Has he ever been on Tier 1 podcast?
No, he hasn't. So if you're watching, David, give us a shout, mate, because, go on
And
his
do you know
show-
what?
show.
When we did get in touch with him for him, it was like nothing was too much trouble as well with him. So I'm sure we'll get him on Tier 1.
Yeah.
He's a good lad.
What's he been saying?
He said that basically Bayern Munich see Upper Meccano as a replacement for Jerome Boateng and David Alaba, he said. And
Wow.
Yeah.
That good. He's going to play twice.
exactly.
At once.
And the United's interest has,
Baller.
in inverted commas, cooled. So,
Has it cooled, or did we get told to fuck off?
yeah, it's cooled the same way that...
Reject. Is it cooled the same way my interest in Kelly Brooker's cooled?
Yeah. Same way
Also.
that Nemanja Vidic and David Moyes came to a mutual agreement that Vidic was going to leave.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Departed by mutual
Yeah,
agreement. You're like,
Vidic told me he was going,
it's
and I
mutual
agreed
agreement.
that I couldn't
Why
stop
is he
him.
getting a £17 million payout?
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
not mutual as anything, is it?
Right.
I'm
But
going to
yeah.
start using that, actually. I'm going to try and put that in my day-to-day life. Stephen's interesting going to the gym this morning. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Stephen isn't in the average weight category by mutual agreement.
That's 2 fat jokes in a week.
Stephen's
man.
interest
I know,
in
we've
going to the
spoken
gym
about this.
has cool. Very good. So Upper Meccano ain't happening. Do we even need a centre back? That's my question for you.
Fuck off, Joe. Of
Well,
course
do we then?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be then?
Is it Mengi?
Oh.
Was it
This
involved
is-
in the
this is
18s? Was
this-
it involved in the 23s this weekend?
This is the thing, though. He's not ready yet. He isn't.
Was he 19?
He's 18.
Yeah, I think he's but he's not ready yet. But he could be in a couple of years. And I don't know. Upper Meccano's not going to come in and keep it warm for Ted and Mengi, is it?
For 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's the same like saying,
keep
"Oh,
it
Aaron
warm for
Wan-Bissaka's just
14
keeping
years.
the right back spot warm for Ethan Laird." Well, he's not, though, is he? So I don't know. I don't.
The word
necessarily-
with Mengi
Go on.
is he's fucking an absolute nightmare to play against.
Right.
But you can wind him up and there's a red card in him.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and
Yeah.
fucking what? All right, I understand in the day of VAR and all the rest of it, he's a fucking Clayton lad. For those of you that live in Manchester or close enough to know what Clayton is, you should be going, oh yeah.
That was on my
For
list.
those who don't,
I used to have a list when I was a
Have
reporter.
you heard of Compton?
Of places when I was a
Straight out of
reporter,
Clayton.
like I'd get sent to all sorts of places to cover, crimes that happened.
Usually stabbings and
Yeah,
shootings.
shootings, and like there was a list of places where if I'd get told to go there, I'd be like, "Do I have to?" Yes, you do, and that was at the top of it.
oh, right. So
Yeah.
it's a bit rough.
Yeah,
bit tough.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
But
It's
I
tough, like that.
guarantee a footballer that comes out of there, that plays for this club, that supports this fucking club, is a cult hero in about a fortnight.
Yeah,
You think the way Brandon
I
Williams
was going
came
to say, you
through,
saw the way Brandon Williams was treated
Right.
when he first came through.
Ted and Menger's a lot bigger
Yeah.
and a lot angrier and a lot harder. And I think at centre half as well, where that's a real trait to have. The guy's head's as big as his table. He's only 18. Like, he's a fucking unit. And let's be honest, he's a baller as well.
But
He's
if
an England player.
if
Like,
you
he's
think,
not
though-
just a fucking beast.
But if you think though, like, I mean, as much as I would love Ted and Mengi to come through and be a first choice to start for Manchester United, and I'm sure I know there are a couple, Delict being one, Varane maybe being one, although Pepe kept him out until he was in his early 20s. Generally speaking, you don't see players under the age of 22, 23 starting week in, week out for top teams at centre-back.
No, you don't.
That's very uncommon.
Yeah,
So
it
let's
is.
say in the next 4 years when, let's hope we've won at least an FA Cup, a Champions League or a Premier League, and if not, certainly a couple of, Carling Cups or Europa Leagues, whatever it may be. Are we going to need someone in the meantime to get us over that edge, to turn
Well,
us
there's still
from
talk
a team
about
that
White, isn't there?
gets to 3
And I like that a
semi-finals
lot,
to
mate.
3 trophies?
yeah, the lad from Brighton.
Yeah, he's not spectacular.
No, but his record is good, isn't it?
And he's also the kind of guy that you go, is he just going to get fucked around at set pieces? No.
Yeah.
At all.
He had a decent
I think we really
season
need
at Leeds,
that. And I
didn't he,
think
on loan.
sometimes some unspectacular players, he's played in the Championship.
Me and you, didn't we have this discussion, didn't we, a few months ago, where I was like, United always used to get at least one or two players from down the bottom of the table. And
we Bayern Munich it.
Yeah.
When we was at our best, we Bayern Munich
you go like,
James Maddison, Jack Grealish.
You
and
would.
We'll take,
throughout, like,
Ben White
whether
as well.
it was sort of Dennis Irvin from Oldham or
Carrick, Berbatov.
Van der Sar from Fulham or whatever, you'd look and go, hang on a minute, he's actually, he'll do a job for us.
We know he can play in this league.
Yeah.
If he does even the same job he's doing for his current side, for us, he will improve.
And we'd always do that. We'd always have at least one or two where we do that, and we sort
Do you know why
of
that don't happen as
kinda
much no
stopped
more?
doing it a little
Because
bit.
the Premier League's loaded.
Yeah, and
so you
prices
ring
have
Everton
gone
up,
through.
whereas normally you'd get a player for, let's say, like 15, 20 million out of Everton.
Yeah.
It's now 50, 60 million.
Yeah.
You go, fuck that.
Even Calvert-Lewin, for example.
I'm going to Spartak Moscow.
Even like this lad Ben White, he's probably going to cost
Lewin's probably the bang on.
50 million quid.
Yeah. Whereas you can go to Europe with 50 million, you're getting up a Meccano.
I mean, look at Sean Longstaff. United were linked with him, and I don't know to what level we were, how close we were to that. But the rumours coming out of Newcastle were 50 million or fuck off. He's played 8 Premier League games for you, and he's been injured with a knee injury for 2 months. You're like, but that's the sort of numbers you deal with when you're talking English.
Bulgarian,
Premier League.
he's 8 million.
6, 8, 10 million, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is the problem. But I think,
I mean, look at Bruno. If he'd have been doing anything like those numbers in England, which he is now, he would have been 120.
Grealish was doing a quarter of it.
They're talking 80 million.
Yeah. Like how we got Bruno for 40. That should have United's negotiation onwards from getting Bruno needs to go with a photograph of Bruno.
yeah,
And his price tag on him.
Yeah.
And go, you want how much? You know we got him for that.
Yeah, exactly. So you looking at Ben White then, and you say something. 50 million.
Gylfi Sigurdsson.
More
It was
less.
50 million to Everton from Swansea.
This is not. This is mental.
You
know,
say
mate,
that
I
though.
know.
You talk about unspectacular centre backs. When's the last time United won major trophies with unspectacular centre backs? Because I can't remember it. That's my only query. But most teams that
Johnny
win
Evans
the Premier
pretty
League,
unspectacular.
yeah, but he was alongside Rio Ferdinand
Pretty spectacular.
or Vidic. Most teams that win the Premier League, you look at
Very good
Leicester.
Steve Bruce
Did
wasn't
not
very
have spectacular centre backs. Robert Huth and Wes Morgan.
Yep.
But you look at
Solid.
yeah,
Top at
they
set
are
pieces.
solid, but
You've got to own your set
other
pieces.
than that, look at City. They haven't won the league since Company left. You look at Liverpool. It was Van Dijk that basically won in that league.
Oh, you can have me playing next to him.
Yeah, exactly. You go back to Chelsea. As much as we aren't fans of him, John Terry.
No,
and-
fuck
and
you. Fuck you and fuck John Terry, actually.
I'm not. Go on.
Because it was Carvalho that made them defensively
Not
sound.
in 2016.
John Terry's shit, mate.
When was it?
Shit.
They won the league in 2015.
Arsed.
Who was it then?
Not John
David
Terry.
Luiz.
Yeah, so he was fantastic and his fucking stupid hair.
Whatever it is.
Fuck you and fuck John Terry.
I don't like John Terry. Don't lump me in with John Terry. I'm just saying he's won a few Premier Leagues. You look at the Arsenal
So's
teams.
fucking
They're
Anderson.
good. They're great centre backs as well. I'm just saying I don't think you necessarily can win the big trophies with just. And I'm not saying Ben White isn't spectacular, but
But the
with
thing
just
is,
a
though,
couple of chuggers.
you don't know where he's going to get to. Van Dijk was at fucking, like, when was he? What, 25? He was playing at
Celtic.
Heerenveen, was it?
Oh yeah.
And then he was at Celtic. How many fucking absolute dog shit players do you see roll through Celtic? Loads.
Yeah.
Loads. And because it's a piss easy league, they don't actually get tested enough to the point where you don't know if he's going to be a Gattuso
Why he went to
or a Van Dijk.
Southampton, innit,
Yeah.
from
He
Celtic,
might be
because
a
someone,
Samaras.
Yeah, exactly.
What's he
took
called at Derby?
a lower
Chris Commons.
a lower club to get him first and go, actually,
Scott
He's in
Scott
good-
Sinclair's like a fucking
Yeah.
legend Pele regen.
I know.
Unbelievable. And where's he going? Preston?
Yeah.
Stop it. You can tell me that's
But
a
that's where
serious
good
league.
scouts come in. And that's where you're doing your money, where you
Tough
get
that.
scouts.
Tough that to be able
Just-
to look at
just-
someone playing against fucking pub footballers and go, you might be the difference in a team winning the Champions League.
How
I'm
insane is that?
it is mental. Just on the sort of centre backs thing, before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you this because I mentioned it earlier, but the whole hug gate, what have we made of that? Because everyone seems to be sort of up in arms.
Again, for those who don't know.
Sorry, Harry Maguire hugged John Stones at the end of the game against City, and also been mentioned as well is Michael Carrick and Pep Guardiola had a bit of a cuddle on the way out down to the tunnel.
Roy Keane weren't happy. I don't know
Shock
if
horror,
anyone's
stop the
fucking
press.
surprised
Yeah, but
at
Roy
that.
Keane hasn't hugged anyone since he was about 4 years old, I bet.
No.
Like, that's no surprise that Roy
You read his
Keane happy about
autobiography?
Yes.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
that. I saw a video. So on Twitter, people were talking about this hug thing. And me particularly, I don't love it. I don't look at it and go, oh, well done, the boys are getting on. But it's not like modern football is gone, the game's gone. You know, Harry Maguire's going to be, he must be shit.
I've not even looked at my wife like that, the way you're
It was a lot.
There was some love in that, though.
The great video of when United played against Everton, and Gary Neville was United captain, and Phil Neville was Everton captain, and they're in the tunnel together, about to come out. They do not even look at each other. Literally, they're stood 6 inches shoulder to shoulder. Gary Neville turns around, looks down the line of players, doesn't. At no point do they even try to make eye contact with each other. And they're brothers.
Do you remember when Pogba played against his brother? And they were like chatting and hugging after the game. And Roy Keane went, I've not even spoken to my brother that much in the last 10 years.
Yeah, but Roy, that's not a good thing. At some point,
I'm with Roy.
I'm
with Roy.
So what do you think to
I don't understand
okay.
it. Have they got a shared
if you're not
history
angry.
together or something?
It's just England.
Because I know they're both from
World Cup
fucking
semi-final.
Yorkshire, aren't they?
Semi-final
They're both
together.
Yorkshire lads.
I don't think there's anything deeper
Did
than
John Stones come through at Sheffield United as well?
No, it was Barnsley lads.
Barnsley.
I just think it
So
is
they
the World
probably
Cup
will
in
have known
England.
each other.
England.
Only two footballers from Yorkshire played to centre half.
It might be. There might be sort of some issue. I just assumed it was because of the England stuff.
Mate, that's a fucking hell of a hug.
It was a deep hug.
I don't know. Maybe I might be looking in it too much, but maybe with Harry Maguire, just everything is going on for him. You know, it wasn't a great performance, but it's a clean sheet, and for him, it was a decent
And
game.
I suppose you don't
and maybe
know-
there's just that emotion thing of it's
and
like
you don't know
relief
as well
almost.
how friendly they are off the
Yeah,
pitch.
and
I
it's
know
just
that they
like-
may not have been mates since they were 6, although they could well have been if they were. Sheffield and Barnsley are literally
There's a
5,
good
6
chance
miles
they
away from each
rotated
other.
through similar
And they'll have
sorts
been-
of
yeah,
academies.
so
or
It's like
junior
Gerrard,
seasons.
isn't it? With,
They'll have been
was
at
it-
county football together when they were kids. They'll
Joey
have probably
Barton.
been at under 8s or whatever it is, England. You know,
I'm going to
growing
throw
up
a
through
cheeky
the
plug
leagues.
for Paddock FC and a quick
do.
segue with this.
Cheeky
So
bastard.
tonight,
Cheeky.
we're playing at 8 o'clock. If
Cheeky
you're in the
man.
Manchester area tonight and you want to come and watch some absolutely spectacular attacking 2-1-7 formation football, that's what we're promising you tonight. But it's relevant because obviously we've got Ronaldo, Akira, Isaac, Nosa. There's 4 lads that came through at City and Liverpool, but they've never played together. A couple of them was in different age groups.
But they knew each other off the pitch. Is what,
Yeah, so tonight we've got a new signing, which is Isaac Buckley Ricketts. Which, if you want to go fucking Google, this little bastard won the Euros for England in the same team as Mason Mount and as Reece James and as Sessegnon, and he's playing for Paddock tonight.
I mean, usually I'm not asked about Paddock FC that much, but honestly, that is pretty cool.
It's
That
a
is
fucking
pretty cool.
joke,
But
mate.
again, though,
It's
that's a good point, though, because
Cool, and it's baffling. In
we're
equal
talking
measure.
about Isaac Buckley Ricketts and all these players who know each other off the pitch, but never played in the same team.
Yeah.
That could well be the case with Stones and Maguire.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying it's relevant. Like Ronaldo and obviously Ronaldo came through at Liverpool. Akira was the year below him at Liverpool. They played in the same position, so they never played together. Nosa was at City. He moved to Birmingham as Isaac came through in the ranks at City. They've never played together, so they've all been professionals, under 18s, under 21s. They've played at loads of different clubs together. They've all been training at Paddock for
Loads of different
months
clubs
now.
not together.
But yeah, not together. Never played any sort of 11-a-side football together. And tonight we're going to see it. And obviously Nosa's our number 10, so our entire forward 4 are 4 mates, and they're fucking unbelievable. So I can't wait to see how this goes out. It's fucking 0-0 written all over this tonight, I'm going to be honest.
Or just losing 1-0.
I'll be fucking wounded.
8
8 o'clock at Robbie School. If you want to come down, wear a mask and don't stand anywhere near me.
Back to Maguire and Stones then.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? Can you see why there's such a... I mean, I say there's such a... There's a few tweets online and Roy Keane's not happy. Are you bothered, and how bothered are you?
Right, I know this is sort of... You know me, I can be quite bitter and vindictive, and I am the guy that, hates Peter Schmeichel and doesn't like the way Nemanja Vidic left the club and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not arsed.
No.
I'm not. And I know I should because it's City, and believe me, I hate City. But for me, it felt like there might have been a bit of emotion there in it because of what's gone on with Maguire, and maybe just let that get the better of him, whatever. But I'm not forced. Had we lost,
I've just
done a video with Rio. Rio's got a lot to say on it.
I'd have been fuming. But I
Rio
wasn't.
basically goes modern
that
football.
bothered. Well,
Really?
I'm not even that. I'll just be honest with you.
Didn't Rio retire like 5 years ago?
I'm not that bothered.
I don't think it was that long ago.
So Rio
Fucking
Ferdinand
modern
don't like
football. Yeah, so I got a video. If you don't know, I do a video with Rio on his Channel 5. It's 5 things we learned, funnily enough. And I asked him about Hug on there. What's your thoughts on that? He ain't happy with it.
Really?
He don't really go proper to town on it. Put it this way: if there's a spectrum and Roy Keane's at one end, Rio's not at that end, but he's also not at the hugging fucking John Stones end either.
I spoke to an ex-United player earlier, and he said that...
Oh, he's joking.
Yeah, he's all right. And he said that... just unrelated. And he said that, if you're going to do that thing, you can do it in the changing rooms afterwards. You don't have to do it on camera.
Do it at home.
Yeah.
And there's a sickening amount of United players that are... This is old United players that actually have friends at City that you wouldn't fucking believe. Like Dwight York and that was having parties with like Danny Tiatto and Dunn and all them lads, because they go out in the same fucking places.
They live on the same roads.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if Harry Maguire and John
they go
Stones
out to a nightclub. They get
5-minute walk
stuck
of
in the
each
same
other.
VIP with each other. Like they're not going to be like,
especially when like I
It's
said,
weird,
Barnsley and
isn't it?
Sheffield
Because
are like neighbouring towns.
I remember, right? And one player you can accuse him of a lot of things, but on the pitch you could never accuse him of not being committed. Was Wayne Rooney, and I remember before the kick-off, I'll never forget this with the Scousers, him and Gerrard giggling together, like and all this. What is this? We're about to kick off against Liverpool,
but launches him in 5
Did we
seconds.
beat
yeah.
us?
I think that was. I might be wrong, but I think that game was the one where Evra scored the winner.
But that's the thing, though.
So
there
there's a
are
lot of
examples.
venom in that game,
There are
if
examples
I
of
remember.
when players ignore each other, or it's nothing but animosity. And maybe it's
The
about doing it the
Lewandowski
right
and
way.
Royce like
That's
giggling
brilliant.
at each other.
That's one of my favourite things ever. But there are also examples, like I said,
They play together.
of players like Rooney, who no one could ever question his application, his aggression, his energy, his passion towards beating Liverpool and winning leagues and winning trophies and being a winner and all that sort of stuff. And he did it.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think it's the end of the
there's
world,
lots of things
personally.
that can sort of annoy me, but this just, to be honest with you, I don't agree with it, but I understood it because I thought Maguire's just going through one of them times. He's probably a little bit emotional. It's like he's probably got that relief, got a clean sheet. Could have been,
Defended well,
had a good game.
He did
Sees
have a
his
good
mate. Stones has been a bit under the cosh. He's having a good spell of it. Both of them buzzing.
But yeah, like Joe, you don't. I mean, maybe
live
the
and
lack
learn.
of fans in the stadium tricked them into
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
they
I
could
think
get
there would have
away
been a
with
bit
it.
more of it. It'd have been like the Stretford and been like, yeah, come on.
Yes, but don't give anyone the ammo.
No.
I
Like they always say, don't they? Like, don't give the referee the excuse of booking you. Well, don't give the fans the excuse. No, there's literally no conversation to be had if you just didn't do it.
Or do it in the tunnel.
Yeah, I'll see you
Yeah.
inside.
But
Simples.
I think we can all move on from it anyway. I hope we've all learned something from this. So, Paddock, you've done your plug, haven't you? 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Right,
Robbie. Free
Right,
entry.
Robbie. Right,
Come
Robbie.
and watch. Wear a mask. Don't stand anywhere near us.
You've got-
I promise,
Go on, I'll let
absolute
him finish.
fireworks.
Fireworks.
I think Joe's coming, and I think Jay's coming.
I will if I get my deliveries done. You've got the...
Jay works for Deliveroo, by the way, just so you know, on the side.
I work for Miss Man United. If you want any merchandise, check her out. You've got the Premier League piss take coming out, haven't
the
you?
Premier League piss take
What,
should be out. I
the
think
second
it's-
best show today.
It's 7 o'clock, I think, tonight. I assume it'll be at 7 o'clock. But yeah, tonight, Stretford Paddock, Premier League piss take, me and Adam going through the weekend's results. And guess what? Every top team around Man United have dropped points. I mean, fuck it, including Man United. So there's plenty of ammo today. Very good. Very good.
As well as Arsenal.
Yes.
Oh,
I hope you're
beautiful.
taking the piss out
Yeah.
of them because that's an open goal.
I think, honestly, most of the video is taking the piss out of
Good.
Arsenal.
Because
And I actually mean that.
rightly so. 'cause
Brilliant stuff.
The shit and the fans are all knobheads. Anyway, on that note,
Laura Woods is all right.
Who?
Laura Woods is all right.
Laura Woods.
She's all right.
Well, you mean Laura Woods? I've never met her.
I'm
I've
just
spoken to her.
saying, can't tar all of them with the same brush,
All right. Laura Woods is all right, but other than that, they're all knobs.
especially Piers Morgan.
12 days. He's not even a fan. He don't care. It's just a thing, innit? I don't like pretend I'm an Arsenal fan and loads of people engage with me. 12 days Paddock.
Yes, we've got a giveaway
Love that.
coming out starting on the 26th of December. We are going to be giving away T-shirts, merchandise. We're going to be giving away
A PlayStation 5, Joe.
PlayStation 5 is the big one, but it's not just a PlayStation 5. Every single day for 12 days from the 26th of December, we will be giving away a gift. And all you have to do to be
Is any of
entered...
it wafer thin turkey?
No, none of it is.
That would have been a good one.
We can put that in the box with the PlayStation. And all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning, to be automatically entered into the competition, is become a member of Stretford Paddock. All you have to do, click the little join button underneath the video, sign up as either an Academy member or a first team member. You also get stuff like members only videos. We're going to be getting wallpapers
And on
out.
that,
You get a discount on the merch store as well. So there's
Outtakes
all
video
sorts.
is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and we put out an outtakes video the other day, and you can watch all of those videos if you become a member. There's podcasts that have gone back a few weeks as well, and there'll be another podcast coming out next week. We've also got a Secret Santa video coming out on Christmas Eve. So yeah, there's loads of stuff for members, and you're going to get that all the time. And and it's not just going to end here. It's not 12 days of Paddock and then that's it. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing special prizes, all sorts of stuff for members all the time. So yeah, join and become a member, and you're in with a chance of winning a PlayStation 5. No matter where you are in the world as well. Don't matter. You don't have to be from Britain. If you're from anywhere in the world, if you get randomly selected.
What if you're on the International Space Station? Are we allowing astronauts on the ISS to enter?
That's interesting. No, you have to be on Earth. As long as you're on Earth,
Unlucky
you're in with a chance
cosmonauts.
of winning. Yeah, but yeah,
all being
join,
fucking
nerds.
become a member, and any tier member, you're automatically entered to win, and you can win any one of those prizes. Or even, if the random button generator picks it, you could win more than one. Imagine that.
And some ham.
And some ham.
No ham.
And
Turkey then.
FIFA.
Than turkey.
You can have FIFA.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. And if you're not a member, make sure you're subscribing. It's got loads of good content coming up.
No, fuck that. Just become a member. Stop phoning them out. Press the join button. It's top. It's in a bit.
Right, no. Just thank you. Yes. Hit subscribe. We've also got preview coming up for the Sheffield United game. We've got the watch along coming up. We've got all the post-match reaction for that. And then later on in the week, we'll be looking at the Dirty Leeds game as well. So that's been Joe Smith. That's been Stephen Howson. I've been Jay Motty. This has been the inaugural Stretford Paddock podcast. Thanks for watching.
Go for bigcartel.com and check out the Paddock merch. And for a short time, you can get 20% off orders with 2 items or more using the code Paddock20. Go get on it.